Good evening. Thank you for watching. We're on to the second part of the program. My guest here in the studio is the Honourable Dr. Carm Mifsud Bonnici, and we're soon going to be joined by a Member of Parliament from Montenegro. He's Mr. Milic and a member of the opposition. Our topic today is the Mozura Windfarm project. But before, thank you very much, first of all, for coming. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes to highlight this week's turn of events and the alleged attempted suicide of the key witness in such a high-profile case. Would you kindly give us an update today with what you know and your views?
You cannot have many views on this matter. It's shocking and it shows the importance, the gravity of the witnesses' evidence in court. And I think that Maltese nation during this week was particularly shocked with what happened. So we have to watch carefully, hope that this key witness comes back and restores all his health and energy, because he is vital in the whole lawsuit in this Daphne Caruana Galizia murder case. So from what I've been following, he seemed to be on the mend. Surely it will be a long mend, because it will take a lot of time for him to come back and to be in a position to appear viva voce in court and to give his evidence, or to continue giving his evidence. So we will watch very closely. We trust in the medical staff at our hospital, and we are sure that they are giving him the best of treatment.
So in many ways it has compromised the proceedings.
It has stalled the proceedings on certain matters. So I would think that other witnesses will be brought to the fore until he will be in a position to give evidence once again. But it goes to show how highly charged and how very difficult and how very risky it is for a person such as himself to give evidence in this case.
Absolutely, thank you. We're going to discuss now the Mozura Windfarm project.
Very well.
And joining us from Montenegro is Mr. Milic, who's, as I said, is a member of parliament, a member of the opposition. And thank you very much, Mr. Milic, for being with us today.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you. You have worked extensively on your research together with some fellow members of the opposition party in Montenegro on gathering facts on the transactions that took place to set up the Mozura wind farm project.
Yes, first of all, thank you for this opportunity that we can speak about Mozura wind farm. I can speak about that in Maltese television, but it's not true that I can speak about that in Montenegrin television. But anyway, there is so many doubts, there is so many dilemmas, and we have to find truth. We proposed as a parliamentarian to the Parliament of Montenegro, all 39 opposition members of the parliament, declaration for funding this parliamentary investigation. We tried last month once. We will try once again on Tuesday, because we want the parliamentary committee do this investigation and first of all to answer on all the questions. We have a problem with no transparency. We have a problem that we have no independent investment assessment, and we have a problem with the story that so many things regarding this Montenegro scandal is hidden. Was hidden during this period.
Um, earlier today, you mentioned that you raised a parliamentary question, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, to your Prime Minister, who refused to answer it. Did you say that?
Yes. Yes, I asked him, and I told him that, first of all, it's not good for our country that somebody calls this deal at the Montenegro scandal. The second thing, in all these files, we can find photo from our Prime Minister and our President of the state. And finally, we have to think about the reputability of our state when we speak about foreign investment. But unfortunately, he didn't want to answer of this question. And you know, they need to hide something. For us, is the most important thing is to open this question, because we are all victims of this non-transparency. And unfortunately, after Corona murder case, we have to do our best to proceed everything what we can do that this, I think, brotherhood in organized crime has to be stopped.
Now, for those people who don't know much about Montenegro, you have a population that's quite similar to our own country. Is that correct?
That is 620,000 people.
That's right. But obviously, you don't live in such a built-up area as ours. You've got more space. Can we just focus, before you tell us more about the report you sent earlier today? I have to share with our audience that most of the information we use is on the public domain. Can you shed some light on what took place between Enemalta and the involvement of the offshore company 17 Black?
First, I will tell this story started in 2010, when some Montenegrin and Spanish firm companies made a deal. After that, government suggested to those companies that they have to involve one Montenegrin business partner from our prime president now, in that period of time, Prime Minister Đukanović, and I will say only Đukanović in the next part of this interview. And he invested €1 and he earned 650,000 euros. I don't think that you can find anywhere in the world that somebody who invests €1 can earn 650,000. After that, they hide from us that there is this company, Cifidex, that's offshore company, and they took from those people from Montenegro and Spanish this company, this deal with Windfarm, and they negotiated with the government and also negotiated with Enemalta, negotiated with your former minister Milic and for people from the government about involvement in Enemalta in this story of Windfarm. It is a scandal that nobody in Montenegro knows for this Cifidex company. Later, Enemalta bought this project, and they put on the contract a sum of, as you know, as the people from Malta already knows, that is a sum of 3.5 million euros. Later, you found out that this sum was almost 10 million euros. This is a story that Enemalta, as a state-owned company from Malta, probably made a false declaration to our authorities, and they put on the contract the wrong amount of money. That is also a story about that we want to clarify about tax evasion and everything else. Nowadays, we have a very specific situation here in Montenegro. We are obliged as the citizens of Montenegro to buy electricity from the wind farm of Mozura that is 2 times higher than the price that we will pay if we will import energy in our country. And we were also this project when it started in Montenegro. They told us that will be cost of 65 24.5 million of euros. And that will be the technology from Siemens. That was it is in that time and now is top ranking technology in the world. But later, our government signed agreement with this company that this investment will be 90 million of euros. The story is who earned this 24.5 million euros. And that is a story, that is the reason why we want to cooperate also to our colleagues from the Parliament of Malta, to the people of Malta, because we have, I think that we have a common enemy. This enemy is transparency. It's also a lack of the confidence in the all documents that we obtain from the government of Montenegro.
You had a press conference earlier today, and I've got your press release here, and it actually states that Sidefex, the company that you've just been speaking about, took a loan from a company called 17 Black.
It is true. It is true because there is so many common things. We are not only common with the number of the inhabitants. There is common things when we speak about Malta and Montenegro. The common things is soccer from Azerbaijan. It's Black 17. It is Dubai. It's China. It's everything. Everything. I think that this story about Malta is bigger than this company. It's bigger than Montenegro. It is something else that happens here. I think that Malta was like a bridge. How to settle the problems that exist here with Djukanovic, his family, and his business partners and investors from Azerbaijan and China. And that is a story about coal mine here on the north part of Montenegro in the city Pljevlja. It is a story about very big investment of Azerbaijan people in Herceg-Novi on the coastline. There is so many common things, and unfortunately, we have to do this step by step. Finally, I want to mention that for me it's very important. It's a statement of the European Commission after they refuse to put in our declaration on the Parliament. They said Commission expects that Montenegrin authorities to answer to accusation of corruption related to the joint Maltese-Montenegrin wind power project. There are people from the European Commission were critical of the Speaker's refusal to allow parliamentary debate on this project. You know, this is only, we are just starting this story in the Parliament. We want to call people from the financial sector in Montenegro. The main trace is trace of money. We want to, you know, there is a story that this money which came in Montenegro from Black 17, from other, came also in the bank that is owned by the brother of the president of Montenegro, Djukanovic. And we want to see all aspects of that. We want to see aspects of the custom. We want to see aspects of the tax policy, about everything what is connected. We are not accusing anyone, but we want to have all answers of this payment from the Black 17 in Montenegro.
Thank you. Dr. Mifsud Bonnici, stay with us, please. Mr. Milic, please stay with us. Your comments so far, we've heard quite a lot there. Your comments so far?
My comments are that it shows that there is a common enemy, and the scandals and all this corruption goes to show that it is in the interest of all peoples in Europe, especially both in Montenegro and Malta, to do their best to fight, to find the truth, and to act so that who has stolen the state returns back the money which was defrauded from our people. I'm happy to hear this member of parliament speaking. He's on the right track. We need to cooperate more because facts which are available in Montenegro are not necessarily available in Malta, and the same applies for those which are available here to be available in Montenegro. I think that if we want to do this better, then a joint investigating team should be set up in order to make sure that we come to the point where we really know what happened in this ugly deal.
Absolutely. I heard him speak also about Azerbaijan. And there is a bit of an overlap also. I spoke to him earlier today with electrogas also.
We need to contrast, to fight this culture of corruption, this idea that it is okay once you are not caught. I think we have to work on that. These are lessons in democracy, whereby we should send a strong signal to today's leaders and to future leaders that these things should never be done, and that there are consequences, that there is a high price to be paid for those who transgress, who find themselves in these roads for the wrong reasons or the right reasons for them in order to earn what they should not earn. So there we should take the necessary steps, and I think we should learn. In this country we have never had such cases, and I'm sure neither in Montenegro, but lessons should be taken up, and we should act in such a manner to build our laws stronger and to have a stronger capacity within our forces, our disciplined forces, our security forces, in order to make sure that this does not repeat itself. There is an area whereby people find themselves in this wrong culture of doing things, of managing the things of the state. You are in the service of the state to serve the people, not in your service.
Mr. Milic and you're both speaking about considering how to repatriate the funds that have gone missing from obviously the country's coffers, if I can say that. It's a very long process, I understand.
It is
and an
long
expensive
and diligent.
one.
It is long, diligent. Maybe also there is an expense, but it should be made. I don't believe that this money has evaporated. So the persons who have earned money on corruption have surely placed them somewhere. So
Yes.
we should identify, after doing the due diligence, the due work, the evidence to be gathered, the lawsuits, the due process, to be in a position to get them back for the respective peoples of Montenegro and Malta.
Mr. Milic, are you still with us? Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Can I just ask you, before the contract was awarded, was there a proper due diligence process?
No. First of all, if you allow me, I just want to say that we have to set up that nobody could be above the law. And the second thing that we will not allow them to establish a system of values on the manner that will not respect all rights. And all this procedure that we made on the beginning was hidden. They tried, they made the laws here. They said that is acquis communautaire with the European Union. We are doing that about renewable energy and everything else. With all these big words, they hide this. They have no trouble to cooperate because they don't know languages. They have common interest. And our duty as a member of the parliament, and first of all, our duty as a citizens of Malta and Montenegro, to say it's basta. There is no way that you will go further with that. It's a time really for the truth. It's a time that we open all cases, all files. It's a time that we say that there is a journalist that died because she investigated what is the truth. And that's our story. That is our story that will not stop. I'm not interested. Should they or should not respect this statement of European Union and European Commission? I'm not interested. Should they go to the parliamentary committee on anything else? We will proceed with that. We need that. I think that we have to deliver to the people of Montenegro and Malta that still the good people is a big majority. among those who are not good.
I wish you a good evening, Mr. Milic, and I thank you very much, and I look forward to joining you again next week. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, that was quite an amazing chat with him, I think.
It goes to show that organized crime is transfrontier. What we repeat as members of the European Union, that we need to beef up our laws in all member states in order to contrast and to fight against organized crime, this is what we are meaning.
Yes.
It is whoever commits illegality is a criminal. So whatever his position, be it a member of parliament, be it a prime minister, be it a minister, be it a common citizen, it's transfrontier criminality which needs to be addressed as fast as possible.
We brought up the topic of the energy scandals and electric gas when Dr. Jason Azzopardi was with me a few weeks ago. And one of the viewers asked me to ask this question. She said, why is Malta investing in a wind farm in Montenegro when we are not investing in our own renewable energy?
There are two reasons. First of all, difficulties were found in order to set up a wind farm in Malta. There are two major factors. That is, we do not have the necessary currents, and secondly, the area which is needed to lay these wind farms. There was an idea, project of doing this in the sea. There were a lot of studies which were prepared, but at the end of the day, each government found that it was not feasible. Under our new rules, we can, however, invest in other countries to do what we cannot do, and that will help us in our efforts for climate change. And that is why we went for this road. So one might say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but the idea, the concept is good. Our colleague from Montenegro was stressing all the time that under the pretext, under the excuse of a directive of the European Union, something was set up which ran contrary to the right intentions in these types of projects. So under the travesty of this wind farm, corruption cropped up.
Yes.
And this is what happened. The concept is good, the project is good, and it helps our country in our efforts in the world within this framework, within our work for climate change. So the abuse should not be to the detriment of the whole project, which is a fantastic idea in itself. What is condemnable is the way how our ministers behaved in this project to turn a good thing into something sour.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mifsud Bonnici. I am with Dr. Carm Mifsud Bonnici, and I thank my other guests today. Should you have any comments, any queries, please direct them to Net Television or myself, anonymously if you wish, via my blog. I wish you a good evening.